Hi, we'll be starting with one of the most important topics under GST, that is the value of supply. Value of supply needs to be computed in every single transaction. So you know it's very important. The value of supply is contained in your section 15. We'll be doing all its subsections, its rules, and all the practical questions and sums that can possibly come from here. So let's begin with understanding why is value of supply so important. Let's say you went to buy any goods and you come to know that the GST rate is 18%. So the GST rate is 18%. ये rate तुम किस पे लगाओगे? You will levy this rate on what? Common sense, you will levy this 18% on the value of the goods, and accordingly the GST payable will be computed. For example, if you went to buy a laptop which is of rupees 1 lakh rupees and you have ended up paying 1 lakh rupees, then this 1 lakh will come here and you will have to pay 18% on this 1 lakh and you will end up paying 18,000 rupees as GST to the government. So as you know, in every single transaction there will be a consideration, some money that you will be paying for the goods and services, that is the value of supply. Now your section 15 has 5 subsections. The first subsection says that your value of supply is the transaction value. नाउ कॉमन सेंस, अगर मैं 1 लाख रुपए का लैपटॉप खरीद रहा हूं तो 1 लाख पे जीएसटी लगेगा. अगर मैं 10 लाख की गाड़ी ले रहा हूं तो 10 लाख पे जीएसटी लगेगा. अगर मैं 50,000 का टीवी ले रहा हूं तो 50,000 इज द वैल्यू. अब दैट इज द ट्रांजैक्शन वैल्यू, हाउ मच यू एंड अप पेइंग टू द डीलर. सो द वैल्यू विल बी द ट्रांजैक्शन वैल्यू. नाउ देयर आर सम एडजस्टमेंट्स दैट नीड टू बी डन in the value of supply. Section 2, subsection 2 contains a few inclusions and subsection 3 contains a few exclusions from the value of supply. So some adjustments needs to be done into this value which is given in your section 2, subsection 2 and subsection 3. Subsection 4 says if you cannot find out the transaction value or you don't trust the transaction value, for example a transaction between related parties, so obviously the fair consideration will not be given. So in that case certain transaction value rules have been developed, have been formulated, that will be followed. So section 15 subsection 4 says अगर section 15 subsection 1 से तुम नहीं compute कर सकते हो value, तब there will be some rules that will be need to be followed, that is contained in your section 15 subsection 4. And section 15 subsection 5 says that in certain kinds of transaction the government will fix the value and they will say that this is the declared value और इस पे ही GST भरना है. So that, for example, in case of foreign currency, the government determines the value and how much GST is to be paid, which we will see in the rules. Okay, so in certain things government determines and it says notwithstanding anything contained in all the above 4 subsections, हमने जो value बोला वही value होगा. That is given in your subsection 5. So this was a brief overview of what we will be studying. So let's take each subsection and let's go in detail. So section 15 subsection 1. Section 15 subsection 1 says that the value of supply value will be the transaction value. Okay, so now it is important to understand what do you mean by the term transaction value. Transaction value simply means that the price paid or payable by the buyer or his agent when price is the sole consideration and the parties are not related. Means what? It is the price paid or payable by the buyer. तो मैंने अगर 1,00,000 रुपीज लैपटॉप के लिए पे किया तो दैट इज द प्राइस पेड और पेएबल. Price was the sole consideration, means apart from this I have not given anything else. So price is the sole consideration. Yes, मैंने और 1,00,000 रुपए के अलावा और कुछ भी नहीं दिया. And third, I was not related with the dealer, so we are unrelated. If all these three ingredients are fulfilled, okay, then we will say that it is the transaction value and we will take it as the value of supply. So the value of supply for goods and services shall be the transaction value, which is the price paid or payable for the said goods and services. जो हमें पे करना है goods and services के लिए, when the parties are unrelated and price is the sole consideration. Okay, so just a breakdown of section 15 subsection 1. So thus section 15 subsection 1 says that the value of supply shall be the transaction value when it is between unrelated persons and price is the sole or the only consideration. Now we see your section 15 subsection 2. Now this we will do it in two parts. The first part is where I will make you remember all of the subsections and subclauses also, and then the other part I will give you examples where you will understand the concept perfectly. So first I'll make you memorize, second I will give you the explanation. So let's get to the memory technique first. So section 15 subsection 2 talks about certain things which will be included in the value of supply. So these are the things that would be included in the value of supply. Okay, the inclusions are covered in section 15 subsection 2. Now this is further subclauses, subclause A, subclause B, C, D and E. To memorize it you need to remember called as TRIPS, TRIPS. Okay, so let's see what is TRIPS. So all kinds of taxes will be included in value of supply. Okay, so कोई भी किस्म की टैक्स होगा तो वो ऐड होगा in the value and then the GST will be applicable. Second, any amount that has been incurred by the recipient which ideally the supplier was liable to be paid, that also should be added into the value. Third, any kind of incidental expenses will also be added. Any kind of penalty levied for late payment वो भी value में add हो जाएगा, and private subsidies will also be added. So this I am first trying to make you all memorize, then I will give you examples for it. So what word do you need to remember? TRIPS, taxes recipient is paying when the supplier is liable, incidental expenses, penalty for late payment and private subsidies will all be added into the value of supply. So let's see it again. Inclusions में any kinds of taxes other than the taxes under this act, that is GST के अंदर, क्योंकि हम लोग GST compute कर रहे हैं. Apart from GST, any kinds of taxes that are there will all be added in the value and then the GST will be levied on it. Any amount which the supplier is liable but which has been incurred by the recipient will also be added in the value of supply. Incidental expenses, penalty for late payment will also be added in the value of supply, and private subsidies will also be added in the value of supply. So again, what was the code word? TRIPS, taxes recipient is paying, incidental expenses, penalty for late payment and subsidies. Now let's get in the details of it and take few examples. एक एक करके. सबसे पहले आता है taxes. So यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहे हैं वो लोग कि any tax will be added in the value and then the GST rate will apply. Means what? Let's say if I have bought a car, okay, I have bought a car and okay, and दिस कार इज फॉर 40 lakhs. 40 lakhs की मैंने मर्क खरीदा. अब इसके ऊपर क्या हो रहा है? सो आई बॉट अ मर्सिडीज फॉर 40 lakhs. Now there are certain taxes which the government is levying, such as green tax, since these are diesel cars and it emits a lot of pollution. So in Delhi NCPR region, you will know that there is a tax levied called as green tax. So सोचो यहाँ पे 5 lakhs का ग्रीन टैक्स आ गया. एक किस्म का टैक्स है जो मोटर व्हीकल्स पे लगा रहे हैं, ग्रीन टैक्स. सो व्हाट विल इट बी एडेड इन द वैल्यू और नो? सो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ द कार दैट यू विल टेक? You will take 40 lakhs or 45 lakhs. So law is saying that the taxes should be added. Okay, so that is 45 lakhs will be considered to be the value, और इस 45 lakhs पे GST rate जो भी है वो इस फिगर पे लगेगा. Okay, and you'll come to know the GST payable. Second example, if we take, is if I'm not all the taxes have been abolished, like abhi bhi custom duty is there. So when you import goods, there are certain taxes that are levied which are called as your import duties or import taxes. So when I'm calling for a product, let's say I bought a laptop and this laptop is for 1 lakh. I imported the laptop. अब इसके ऊपर certain टैक्सेस लग गए. लेट्स से कस्टम ड्यूटी लग गई. कस्टम ड्यूटी, ना कस्टम ड्यूटी इज नॉट येट अबॉलिश, इट्स ऑल्सो फॉर्म ऑफ अ टैक्स, एंड इसके ऊपर 10,000 आ रहा है. कैन यू टेल मी व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑन विद द GST रेट विल अप्लाई? 1 lakh or 1,10,000? सो अगेन एज वी सी योर section 15 subsection 2 subclause A says add up all the taxes. So 1,10,000 will be considered to be the value, और इसके ऊपर जो भी रेट है GST का वो इसके ऊपर लगेगा, and that is the GST payable. Similarly, there are certain other taxes also which has yet not been abolished, like for example entertainment tax has not been subsumed in GST, and still there can be chances that there are entertainment tax. तो अगर तुमने एक मूवी टिकट ले रहे हो और मूवी टिकट का प्राइस इज लेट्स से 100 rupees, ओके, इसके ऊपर हाइपोथेटिकली लेट्स से एंटरटेनमेंट टैक्स इज देयर, एंटरटेनमेंट टैक्स ऑफ ₹10. सो GST किस फिगर पे लगेगा? सो GST will be levied on the value, and the value includes all the taxes other than GST. So value will be levied and GST हम लोग compute कर रहे हैं. तो अगर 18% है तो इसके ऊपर जो भी रेट है लगेगा, and you'll come to know your GST payable in amounts. I hope the first part is clear. Now let's go to the next one. The next point states that when it is paid by the recipient on behalf of the supplier, this amount also should be added into the value. Let's take an example. Let's say if Mr. Y is a supplier, he was supposed to supply certain goods to Mr. X. Now as per the contract, it was stated that Mr. Y will be liable to pay for the transportation charges as well. So here the supplier was liable, but ultimately what happened? Mr. X paid the amount for the goods, and he also paid the amount for the transportation charges. So an amount with the supplier was liable, but this amount was actually paid by the recipient. In such cases, this amount which the supplier is liable but is paid by the recipient should be added into the value of supply. So can you tell me what will be the ultimate value? So this amount will be added, and the ultimate value of supply value will be 1,10,000, and on this amount the GST will be levied. The next, if you go to see, is about incidental expenses. Now let's take an example. Now, one of the most expensive perfumes in the world is Clive Christian. Now, let's say you have ordered Clive Christian and you are going to gift it to someone. Now, you made a special packing for that other person where you want it should be specially packed in a certain box. Now, for that, you paid additional charges. So, this is the Clive Christian box. You paid additional charges for it apart from the perfume and the regular bottle. So what happened? Mr. X decides to gift a perfume to his friend worth rupees 5,000. He asked for a special packing of rupees 500. So what will be the value of supply? So the value of supply will be the price of the goods plus any special or incidental charges. Okay, so it will be 5,500. It will include the special charges. So this is about incidental expenses. Next, if we see, is about late payment. Now, sometimes what happens if you are paying the amount in installments and for some reason you miss the due dates, तो क्या लगता है उस पे? उस डिले पे एक पेनल्टी लगती है. आजकल सप्लायर्स क्या करते हैं, अगर तुम थोड़ा बहुत भी डिले करोगे ना, अच्छी खासी पेनल्टी लगाते हैं. सो व्हाट गवर्नमेंट सेज कि बॉस, दिस पेनल्टी ऑल्सो तुम काफ़ी कमा रहे हो ये सब लेट पेमेंट से, यू आर अर्निंग, यू आर रिसीविंग फ्रॉम द सप्लायर. सो व्हाट लॉ स्टार्टेड डूइंग, दे स्टार्टेड सेइंग दैट दिस late payment also that you are getting should also be considered to be in the part of the value, and GST should be paid even on that amount. Okay, so nowadays because they don't take nominal amount, they started realizing they take a good amount of late payment. And what used to happen, this extra there, this becomes their earning, and this was going untouched by the GST. So what law said कि बॉस, अगर आप लेट पेमेंट, इंटरेस्ट, कुछ भी ऐसा चार्ज करोगे तब क्या होगा, इस एक्स्ट्रा लेट पेमेंट पे भी वैल्यू में ऐड होगा और इसके ऊपर भी जीएसटी लगेगा. सो व्हाट इज दिस? मिस्टर एक्स हैज सप्लाइड गुड्स वैल्यूड ऑफ रुपीज 1 लाख ऑन अ क्रेडिट ऑफ 30 डेज. 30 डेज में 1 लाख भर देना है. अब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के हिसाब से अगर तुम टाइम पे नहीं भरोगे तो 10% डीले चार्जेस लग जाएगा, इंटरेस्ट लग जाएगा फॉर लेट पेमेंट. अब बंदे ने क्या कर दिया, ही पेड आफ्टर 6 months फ्रॉम द ड्यू डेट अलॉन्ग विथ रुपीज 10,000 एज इंटरेस्ट. सो जो 10,000 रुपीज उसने लेट पेमेंट चार्जेस पे किया एज इंटरेस्ट. सो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई? सो दे आर सेइंग दिस लेट पेमेंट, interest, penalty, whatever is charged should be added in the value, and GST will be levied even on this additional extra amount that you are charging. Then comes subsidy. Subsidy का मतलब क्या होता है? Subsidy is any fiscal or monetary benefit given by the government or given by someone to a person. Now subsidies really can be divided in 2 parts. इसके बहुत अच्छे से यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है, 2 parts में divided है. Whether subsidy if I receive from someone, okay, I am receiving some monetary benefit, whether is this will be added in the value में add हो जाएगा तो GST भी लगेगा. So what happened, government has first divided subsidies. आप देखो subsidy कौन दे रहा है आपको, whether it is being given by the government and it is not to be added in the value of supply. So government generally gives a subsidy for maybe some social welfare, some kind of a social scheme for the benefit of public at large. तब गवर्नमेंट क्या बोल रहा है, अगर हमने आपको दिया ना पैसा, गवर्नमेंट सप्लायर को पैसे दे रही है, तो इन दिस केस GST will not be applicable on this subsidy amount. This subsidy will not be added into the value. We'll see an example also. If it is given by any other than government subsidy, it could be given by an NGO, it could be given by a private company, private sector, any other person who is giving a subsidy, then should it be added in the value? So then further bifurcation hai. If it is linked to the price, then it is to be added in the value. Means what? If it is said ki boss, the goods, let's say the price of goods is rupees 100. I am telling that boss, per unit 100 चार्ज कर रहे थे आप कस्टमर के पास से 100 मत लो, आप मेरे पास से 20 ले लेना, 20 मैं फिजिकल बेनिफिट दे देता हूँ, आप कस्टमर्स के पास से सिर्फ 80 ही लेना पर यूनिट. ओके, पर unit. So it is linked to a particular unit. So in this case, what will happen? This will be added in the value of supply and GST will be levied on rupees 100. But if it is not linked to a price and a random lump sum figure is given, then it is not to be added in the value. So what will be added if it is linked to a particular product? We'll see examples also, you will understand much better. अब समझ रहे जिधर एक प्राइवेट एंटिटी सब्सिडी दे रही है, तो ये क्या लग रहा है तुमको, क्या है ये? सो इट्स अ ज्योमेट्री बॉक्स. ठीक है, अब अ पर्टिकुलर कंपनी रियलाइजेस कि फॉर द एजुकेशन ऑफ चिल्ड्रन, फॉर ऑल दी स्कूल चिल्ड्रन, वी नीड टू लोअर दिस कॉस्ट टू द अल्टीमेट कंज्यूमर. और कंज्यूमर के लिए थोड़ा हमको रेट कम करना है, तो एक काम करेंगे, हम लोग थोड़ा उनके बिहाफ पे कर देंगे, वो लोग थोड़ा भरेंगे. नाउ पर बॉक्स डिसाइड हो रहा है, तो इट इज लिंक टू अ पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट, पर्टिकुलर प्राइस हम लोग प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा वो प्रोवाइड करेंगे. सो इन दिस केस it will be added in the value and GST will be levied on that amount also. So let's take an example. Subsidy from a private entity. Selling of a geometry box is for rupees 75. So normal price कितना है? 75 rupees. The geometry box is sold to the students in certain government school. A company uses their CSR funds. तो कंपनी के पास में भी certain सोशल फंड्स होते हैं जो कंपनी लॉ में है कि इतना आपको बांटना ही है, तो कंपनी डिसाइड्स कि यार अपना CSR फंड यूज कर लेते हैं, लेट अस हेल्प आउट द स्टूडेंट्स एंड पे 50 रुपीज टू द सेलर, सो दैट द स्टूडेंट्स पे ओनली 25 रुपीज पर ज्योमेट्री बॉक्स. सो इट इज लिंक्ड टू अ पर्टिकुलर प्राइस. दैट बॉस इफ इट इज 75 रुपीज का 50 रुपीज जो होगी वो सब्सिडी होगी. अब ये सब्सिडी गवर्नमेंट के पास से नहीं आ रही है, तो वील कॉल इट एज अ प्राइवेट सब्सिडी. एंड दूसरा आता है 75 रुपीज यू कैन टेक इट फ्रॉम द कंज्यूमर और आई कुड से यहाँ इन दिस एग्जाम्पल द स्टूडेंट. सो इट इज लिंक्ड टू अ पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट और अ प्राइस. इन सच केस दिस सब्सिडी विल बी एडेड इन द वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई and the value of supply will be taken as 75 and GST will be applied on this figure. The value of the geometry box will be 75 as it is a non-government subsidy. Very simple. Now let's take an example of government subsidies. Government कब subsidy देती है? Any idea? Now sometimes the government may decide that we can link it with a particular LPG cylinder. Government is paying some amount, so let's say the LPG cylinder is of 900. The government can give a subsidy of let's say 50%, 450 rupees government is saying हम भरेंगे, और consumers, ultimate consumers will के पास से सिर्फ 450 लो. ठीक है, तो government is going to pay half and the people will pay half. Can you tell me GST किस figure पे लगेगा? What is the value? So the value will be 450 only. Why? Because government subsidies are not to be calculated in the value at all. Government also gives sometimes subsidies in case of fertilizers, in certain other cases. So they give, whenever government gives subsidy, it is not to be added in the value of supply. Okay. Now coming to the next point. So we have done the 5 points. You should know what was the code for this under section 15. They are saying first this is the transaction value. Second they are saying what are the inclusions. Inclusion में क्या कोड वर्ड था जो हम लोग ने देखा था? ट्रिप्स. ट्रिप्स में क्या था? One is the taxes. Second is the recipient is paying on behalf of the supplier, incidental expenses, any kind of penalty and subsidy. All these amounts are included in value. Simple. आगे देखते हैं next. when we come to section 11, okay, subsection 3, it talks about your exclusions. Section 11 subsection 1 talks about transaction value. Subsection 2 talks about inclusions. Subsection 3 talks about exclusions. Okay, simple. Now exclusions सिंपल सी चीज है, एक ही चीज दिया है वो लोग ने, क्या एक्सक्लूड होता है वैल्यू में से? एक्सक्लूजन्स फ्रॉम वैल्यू is discount. So discount is not to be considered in the value. Now discount can be divided in two categories. One is a pre-sale discount that is given in a section 15 subsection 3 subclause A, and second is a post-sale discount which is given in a section 15 subsection 3B. पहले बहुत ही सिंपल वाला प्री सेल डिस्काउंट, ये हम लोग के साथ में भी कभी कभार हुआ होगा. दिस मस्ट बी अ वेरी कॉमन फिनोमेना विच वी ऑल्सो मस्ट हैव एक्सपीरियंस. ओके, लेट्स सी व्हाट इट इज. पोस्ट सेल वील सी लेटर ऑन, बट फर्स्ट लेट्स सी प्री सेल डिस्काउंट. सो प्री सेल डिस्काउंट क्या होता है? बिफोर द सेल डिस्काउंट इज गिवन, यू बाय एनीथिंग 50% ऑफ. सो वैल्यू किस पे लगेगा? If I say a shirt is rupees 2000 rupees, okay, I go from Arrow से मेरे को फॉर्मल शर्ट्स खरीदने हैं. अब वहाँ पे क्लियरली मेंशन है 50% ऑफ, फ्लैट 50% ऑफ. सो डोंट यू थिंक ये सेल के पहले ही बता दिया है? सो इन दिस केस जीएसटी किस फिगर पे लगेगा? 2000 पे लगेगा कि 1000? तो दे आर सेइंग 2000 रुपीज वैल्यू बिल में लिखा है, एमआरपी है, इसका 50% ऑफ मतलब 1000 रुपीज पे ही वैल्यू होगा और वैल्यू पे ही जीएसटी लगेगा. मीन 1000 रुपीज पे ही जीएसटी लगेगा. सो इफ द डिस्काउंट इज गिवन बिफोर और एट द टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई एंड इट इज रिकॉर्डेड इन द इनवॉइस, जीएसटी विल अप्लाई ऑन द डिस्काउंटेड वैल्यू. सो ओनली 1000 रुपीज पे जीएसटी लगेगा. अब कितनी बार रहता है ये लोग गाँव, द बिजनेस ओनर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से तुमको देखना पड़ेगा. यू विल हैव टू थिंक लाइक अ बिजनेसमैन, वेयर यू आर ट्राइंग टू गेट द पीपल टू पे अर्ली. यू वांट द कैश फर्स्ट, यू डोंट वांट क्रेडिट सेल्स, यू वांट कैश सेल्स. तो कभी कभार कैश डिस्काउंट देते हैं, आप ऑन द स्पॉट भर दो पैसा पूरा, आपको अभी के अभी 5% देते हैं हम लोग डिस्काउंट. सो इन द बिल डिस्काउंट होता है, बिल के अंदर ही मेंशन्ड होता है. सो दीज आर कॉल्ड एज pre-sale discount. So let's take an example and also we'll see how the invoice looks. Mr. X sells goods to Mr. Y worth rupees 50,000. Gives a discount of 1000 rupees for cash payment. आप अब भी कैश पे करोगे तो आपको 1000 रुपीज ये मिलेगा. GST रेट इज 18%. कैन यू टेल मी किस फिगर पे लगेगा GST? ये 18% किस फिगर पे लगेगा? 50,000 की 49,000 आफ्टर रिड्यूसिंग द डिस्काउंट अमाउंट ऑल्सो. सो आंसर इज डिस्काउंट हम लोग पढ़े, इट विल बी एक्सक्लूडेड फ्रॉम द वैल्यू एंड जीएसटी विल बी लेविड ऑन 18% ओनली. अब तुम देखोगे बिल कैसा लगेगा, ऐसा कैलकुलेशन आ जाएगा. वैल्यू ऑफ गुड्स 50,000, डिस्काउंट मिला है 1000, देयरफॉर transaction value will be 49,000 and 9% CGST, 9% SGST, और ये तुम्हारा ultimate invoice value बनेगा. Many times in your mobile phones also you will see minus discount and then the value is determined, that's called as a transaction value, उसके ऊपर GST लगेगा. Now we begin with the concept of post sale discounts. Post sale discounts is a discount given after the sale is made, provided certain conditions are made. That is why it is called as a conditional discount. That after the sale, if you meet up with certain conditions, you will be eligible for a discount. Let's read what it has to say. If the discount is given after the supply, तो सेल हो गया तो it is called as a post sale discount, but it has been agreed that the terms and condition, what will be the condition on which the discount will be given, that has to be decided before the sale. तो सेल के पहले ही मैं बता देता हूँ ये कंडीशंस है, अगर आपने इसको अचीव कर दिया आफ्टर द सेल तो आपको डिस्काउंट मिलेगा. वील सी व्हाट आर दोज एग्जांपल्स, बट द कंडीशंस हैव बीन डिसाइडेड एट द टाइम और बिफोर द टाइम of supply and is specifically linked to particular invoices. We will see each one what it has to say. If all these conditions are made where discount is going to be given after the supply, it has been agreed before the supply and it is linked to specific invoices, अगर ये सब conditions fulfill हो रहे then GST will apply on the total value. GST किस पे लगेगा? Not on the discounted value. GST is applied on the total value because sale के टाइम पे full figure के ऊपर tax लगेगा, GST लगेगा. Later a deduction can be claimed, a benefit can be claimed of that discount. We'll see what it really has to say. But let's see कौन से cases में ऐसे कैसे होता है. So firstly, I can give a condition that the price is this much, but if you pay before this date, we will give you a discount or a cashback. This is called as a early payment discount. Or sometimes the dealer says that the price is X amount. If in the entire year you purchase a certain limits or you purchase a certain quantity, then we will give you a discount. Considering how much purchases you have made, a certain refund or a credit note will be given to you. So this discount conditions are decided before the sale, and after the sale when you meet the conditions you are eligible for the discount. Okay, so this is tactics of certain smart entrepreneurs where they don't want to give it in the start. They make the buyer work hard. They make the buyer that you want a discount, na? Then after the sale do these things. Pay on time, I'll give you a discount. Purchase so much quantity from me, I'll give you a discount. So these are techniques of smart entrepreneurs. Now let's take an example. First, where let's say a post-sale discount in which प्रायर अग्रीमेंट और अरेंजमेंट वो नॉट देयर, पहले से नहीं सोचा था क्या टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस होंगे. सो व्हाट हैपेंड हियर, नो प्रायर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वाज मेड, ओके, विथ रिगार्डिंग टू द डिस्काउंट. नाउ XYZ is facing liquidity problems and requests WHL to pay within 2 days. It offers 1% discount. WHL agrees and pays. तो WHL को क्या बोला हम लोग ने आफ्टर सेल, दैट बॉस आपका सर्टेन पेंडिंग पेमेंट है, आप प्लीज जल्दी पेमेंट कर दो, हम लोग को थोड़े पैसे की जरूरत है, आपको डिस्काउंट देते हैं. सो इट इज अ प्री सेल डिस्काउंट और पोस्ट सेल डिस्काउंट. सेल हो गया, गुड्स आपको मिल गए, उसके बाद में जब ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम एंड यू आर गोइंग टू पे मी द मनी, आई से प्लीज पे मी अर्ली एंड टेक अ डिस्काउंट. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज अ पोस्ट सेल डिस्काउंट. हियर the discount क्या होगा, क्या terms and condition was not known at the time of supply. So at the time of selling, I didn't know that this thing would have ever happened. So in such cases, GST will apply on the full value. Discount is not allowed as a deduction. It cannot be claimed as a deduction because what are the conditions? The conditions are 3. It should be agreed, the discount के condition should be agreed or at the time of supply. So let's say if I sold a laptop to you for rupees 1 lakh, GST was to be levied 18% on this 1 lakh. Yes or no? Yes. Now what happened when and you were taking some EMI facility or a kind of a deferred payment facility जिसे तुम आराम से फ्यूचर में पे करोगे, क्रेडिट पे गुड्स बिके थे. अब क्या होता है, मैं बोल रहा हूँ बॉस 1 लाख रुपीज था ना, मेरे को अभी इमीडिएट पैसे की जरूरत है, आप 90,000 में वो लैपटॉप रख लो, 90,000 में ही लैपटॉप रख लो, प्लीज गिव मी 90,000, आई विल कंसिडर अ डील क्लोज, बट प्लीज पे इट टू मी टुडे. Now in such cases, question comes up that the dealer is going to get only 90,000. Earlier he was going to get 1 lakh. बट दिस वॉज अ पोस्ट सेल डिस्काउंट दैट हैपेंड. सेल के बाद में सेलर को पैसे की जरूरत थी यानी ऑफर्ड डिस्काउंट. जीएसटी विल बी लेविड ऑन व्हाट वैल्यू? GST will be levied on what value? Whether it will be levied on 1 lakh or it will be levied on 90,000. So in order for discount to be allowed as a deduction, discount अगर हम लोग देख रहे 10,000 का, अगर वो डिडक्शन लेना था तो ये जो भी टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन थे पहले डिसाइड होने चाहिए थे. So therefore this is not going to be allowed as a deduction and GST will be levied on 1 lakh rupees only, and the GST payable to the government is 18,000 only, though the dealer is going to get only 90,000, because post sale discount is allowed only when a prior agreement was made with respect to the conditions. Now let's see the next example, which is very interesting, which will really clear up your concepts as well. Okay, and now here you have to pay attention with me. Now let's say I have gone to buy a car, a particular car. Okay, and let's say the value of the car is 40 lakhs. So I'm going to purchase a Merc. Value is rupees this. The GST rate was kept as 18%. So can you tell me what will be the GST amount that I will have to pay? So value of the car was 40 lakhs. GST payable was 18%. So can you tell me what will be the invoice value or what will be the GST payable? So 40 lakhs ka 18% will be how much? It will be 7,20,000. So this is what I had to pay. So I had to pay 4 lakhs as the value and I had to pay 7,20,000 as the GST amount. ठीक है? अब at the time of sale only, the seller told me that if you pay by the end of the month this full 40 lakhs, then I will give you a discount. अब क्या होगा? गाड़ी मेरे पास आ गई और at the time of supply, at the time of sale, the seller put a condition that if you pay by 31st, then the price of the car is not 40 lakhs, it is only 38 lakhs. ठीक है? So here for me initially first figure में I have to pay 40 lakhs and 72 lakhs. He is putting me to work hard. He is saying कि जल्दी पे करना तो ड्यू डेट के टाइम पे, ड्यू डेट है इतना तो तेरे लिए डिस्काउंट. तो नाउ आई हैव टू ट्राई टू पे 40 lakhs फुल बाय द 31st. देन लेटर ही विल प्रोसेस अ डिस्काउंट फॉर मी. ठीक है? सो नाउ आई वर्क रियली हार्ड. यार मेरे को कैसे भी करके वो डिस्काउंट अचीव करना है एंड आई पेड बाय 31st. सो देन नाउ अल्टीमेटली आई हैव टू पे ओनली 38 lakhs. मतलब मैंने पूरा 40 लाख भर देता हूं 31st के टाइम पे. नाउ आई गो एंड टेल द डीलर, बॉस याद है आपने बोला था सेल के टाइम पे, यू हैड टोल्ड मी बिफोर द सेल दैट इफ आई पेड बाय 40 lakhs आई पेड बाय द ड्यू डेट, देन यू विल गिव मी अ रिफंड, कैश बैक. नाउ डू इट. नाउ द कार का प्राइस शुड बी ओनली 38 lakhs. इसके ऊपर जीएसटी रेट तो सेम रहेगा. तो 38 lakhs पे कितना जीएसटी आता है? लेट्स से इट इज 6,84,000. नाउ टेल मी व्हाट इज द अल्टीमेट फिगर दैट आई एंड अप पेइंग? What is the ultimate after all the adjustments? What is the ultimate figure I'll be paying? Value of the car will be 38 lakhs and the GST that I will be paying on that is 8,64,000. This is the actual that should happen. But how much I have actually paid? I have paid to the dealer 40 lakhs and GST I have paid as 7,20,000. So I will go and tell the dealer, भाई अभी आप कैसे एडजस्टमेंट कैसे करोगे? ये मैंने आपको 40 लाख और 7,20,000 पे कर दिया है. हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू गिव मी दैट डिफरेंशियल अमाउंट? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? 40 लाख भर दिया और मैंने ड्यू डेट पे कर दिया, तो मेरा नेट अकॉर्डिंग टू हिम आई शुड हैव पेड ओनली 38 एंड 6,84,000. तो बैलेंस एक्सेस पेमेंट का क्या करेगा वो? आई हैव मेड एन एक्सेस पेमेंट ना, सो ही विल गिव मी refund in the form of a credit note. He will give me a credit note. It's like a refund. Okay, वो credit note I can use it to buy some other goods and services like a monetary. There's like you get credit notes, you can go and then buy the goods. तो वैल्यू में से कितना मिलेगा? 2 लाख रुपीज का क्रेडिट नोट मिलेगा फॉर वैल्यू. और ये दोनों का डिफरेंशियल कितना है? 36,000 का मुझे ये 2,36,000 का 2,36,000 का मुझे रिफंड मिल जाएगा, क्योंकि मुझे सिर्फ इतना ही पे करना था और मैंने ये दोनों फिगर पे किया है. तो दोनों का डिफरेंशियल इज दिस फिगर. आई विल गेट अ क्रेडिट नोट ऑफ दिस figure. I hope this much is clear. That I paid 40 lakhs and I paid 7 lakh 20. Now I achieved the target. So now the net that the ultimate would be 38 and 6 lakhs 84. So I will tell him, boss, I have paid you more, and since I have achieved the target, it's a conditional discount. Now give me a cashback, give me a credit note. So he will say, ठीक है, मैं दोनों का डिफरेंशियल आपको 38 लाख पे जीएसटी भरना था, तो जो भी आपने एक्सेस पर है आपको उसका क्रेडिट नोट मिल जाएगा. Are we clear with this? Yes. Now my question to you, think and tell me, okay? I want you to take a pause and tell me. The dealer or the buyer, purchaser can take a credit from the government, ITC, from the government of what amount? GST जो भी भरते ना उसका बेनिफिट ले सकते. दैट परचेजर्स कैन टेक दैट बेनिफिट. तो ट्रेडर जो परचेज कर रहे हैं ना गुड्स, वो लोग जितना भी जीएसटी भरे गवर्नमेंट को, वो लोग ने कितना पहले भरा था? बंदे ने 7,20,000 भरा था, तो ही कैन टेक अ क्रेडिट ऑफ 7,20,000. वो क्या है आईटीसी, वो नेक्स्ट चैप्टर्स में आएगा. बट जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड दैट if let's say I am a trader, I have bought the car for 40 lakhs and then paid 7,20,000. So for me, this is a purchase tax. I will take a credit of this when I sell it. Okay. So just remember this thing कि जो भी पे कर रहा है ना, he can take a input tax credit, which is a simply like a refund kind of a thing. Credit can be taken by the buyer or whatever GST he has paid. So ideally he could have taken off 7,20,000, but he got a refund of this figure, but ultimately he's ended up paying only 6,80,000 because उसको बैलेंस का refund मिल गया. So now can he take full 7,20,000 का refund? He has paid 7,20,000, but he's going to get the adjustment, so he should be entitled to take how much का GST? He should be entitled to take only this much ka credit or the benefit, because that is the ultimate figure he is paying. He is not paying 7,20,000 ultimately. He is paying only 6,84,000. तो ये दोनों में से difference जो है इसका, he cannot take a credit of this 36,000. He will have to reverse if he is taken the benefit. In his books, he will have to show that boss मैंने 6,84,000 ही भरा है, तो जो differential है वो मैं रिफंड कर देता हूं, क्रेडिट उसका नहीं ले सकता है वो. ही विल हैव टू रिवर्स द अमाउंट जीएसटी एट्रीब्यूटेबल टू द डिस्काउंट. तो डिस्काउंट क्या है? डिस्काउंट है 2 lakhs. व्हाट इज द जीएसटी एट्रीब्यूटेबल टू द डिस्काउंट? तो इसका 18% ही हो गया. तो इतना अमाउंट उसको रिफंड मिल रहा है, तो ही कैनॉट टेक अ क्रेडिट और अ बेनिफिट ऑफ इट बिकॉज ही गॉट इट बैक इन हिज पॉकेट. ही कैनॉट टेक अ क्रेडिट ऑफ इट. सो आइडियली इन हिज बुक्स 7,20,000 he has paid GST. So ideally if he had not taken the discount, he would be entitled to entire ITC of 7,20,000. But what happened? he did not pay 7,20,000. He got a credit and all of that. So he paid ultimately how much? 6,84,000 only. Ultimately paid. He ultimately paid only 6,84,000 GST. Therefore, what is the excess amount? So excess amount is 36,000. जो उसके बुक्स में पहले दिख रहा था उसने पे किया, बट उसको अल्टीमेटली तो उसने इतना ही पे किया है. तो ये जो अमाउंट है एक्सेस, ही हैज टू डू अ ITC reversal, which simply means that he will not take a credit of this 36,000 because it is excess. He's got a refund separately, तो he cannot take a credit. उसके पॉकेट से गया ही नहीं है ये, उसके पॉकेट से जितना गया है that is 6,84,000, उसका ही वो क्रेडिट ले सकता है. आई अंडरस्टैंड ये थोड़ा ITC कॉन्सेप्ट थोड़ा तुमको टेक्निकल लग सकता है, बट इन द नेक्स्ट सेक्शन ओनली, section 16 to 21 onwards, we will be doing ITC where you will understand it perfectly. What does it mean? That whenever a guy purchases something, he will pay tax when he will purchase the goods. That is called as his purchase tax, his input tax. Whatever taxes he has paid at the time of his purchase, when he further sells it, he will collect tax. He will not give this full amount to the government. He will tell the government that, boss, I have also paid something, so let me take a credit benefit of it, and only balance figure I will pay to the government. So here in this case, he has ultimately paid 6,84,000. So he can take a credit of 6,84,000 only. The GST attributable to the discount, that is 36,000, he's got a credit of it, so he cannot take any benefits on this amount since it nullified. So therefore he has to make a reversal, and he has to say that 7,20,000 में से मैं ये माइनस कर दूंगा, रिवर्स कर दूंगा, तो अल्टीमेटली सिर्फ इतना ही फिगर बचेगा जिसकी मैं एक्चुअली क्रेडिट ले सकता हूँ, बिकॉज आई हैव एक्चुअली पेड दैट अमाउंट. ओके, so don't get scared, hyper confused. That ITC concept you will come to know in the next sections. Then when you come to your section 15, subsection 4 and subsection 5, subsection 4 क्या बोलता है? That if all these transaction values cannot be computed, then the government will form rules. So where the value of the supply of goods and services cannot be determined as per subsection 1, transaction value नहीं determine कर सकते हैं, वो सब fulfill नहीं हो रही है condition, then it will be determined as per the valuation rules. Then they are saying that if the central government feels, okay, the government can notify. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है? valuation rules government will set अगर subsection 1 से नहीं ढूंढ सकते हैं. In this section 15 subsection 5 क्या बोलता है? That the government in certain classes will notify the value. कोई चीज़ों में गवर्नमेंट खुद ही बता देगा ये अगर जा रहा है ना तो इसकी वैल्यू ये है. Notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1 to 4, it doesn't matter ऊपर से यहाँ पे क्या बोला है. The value of supplies as may be notified by the government. So government will notify the value of certain supplies. For example, they can say कि ये goods, textile goods का ये value है, तो वही वैल्यू लेना पड़ेगा. अगर फॉरेन करेंसी का बोल दिया ये वैल्यू लेना है, तो वही वैल्यू लेना पड़ेगा. इट डजेंट मैटर ट्रांजैक्शन वैल्यू किस पे हुआ है. ऑन रिकमेंडेशन शैल बी काउंसिल with the council shall be determined in the manner as may be prescribed. Okay, then the next point is deposit cannot be considered as a consideration. If imagine rent is there, normally जब तुम रेंट पे कोई भी ऑफिस लेते हो, यू टेक अ रेंट ऑफिस ऑन रेंट. Okay, let's say the rent amount is rupees 50,000 per month. So since this is considered to be a service, GST is applicable because we had seen renting of immovable property GST लगता है, तो GST लगेगा 50,000 के ऊपर per month. Now what happens, the landlord generally take a deposit amount also. They take a deposit of let's say 2 lakh rupees का deposit लिया, which will be refunded to you later on. So in this case, will this 2 lakh rupees, will it be taken as GST will be levied on this? Answer is no, because it is not a part of consideration. ये 50,000 consideration है रहने का, ये तो खाली security deposit है. This is not to be taken in the value of supply. No GST will be levied. However, let's say you stayed for more time. You stayed for let's say 4 months more without paying rent. So what the landlord will do? तुमको क्या लग रहा है, तुमने अभी रहना चालू कर दिया, निकल ही नहीं रहता है, 12 महीने खत्म हो गए और पैसे भी नहीं दे रहे हो, then the landlord can adjust this deposit as consideration for staying for this extra time. He can say भाई तू 4 महीने एक्स्ट्रा रहा ना, 4 months extra you stayed, so then that means 2 लाख रुपीज तेरे को भरना है, मैं इसको तेरा डिपॉजिट फॉरफिट कर लेता हूँ. देन ये 2 लाख से ऊपर GST लगेगा. यस, because now we are considering it as a part of the service or a part of consideration. So यहाँ पे normally deposits whether refundable or not तुमको बाद में मिल जाता है, shall not be considered to be a payment, considered as payment because it's just a deposit, safety. However, unless the supplier applies the deposit as consideration for the supply, if I say कि नहीं अभी आपका 2 लाख रुपीज़ है, मैं आप कंसिडर कर लेता हूँ कि आप रहने का रेंट जैसा कैलकुलेट कर लेता हूँ, तब GST लगेगा उस पर. नेक्स्ट इज रिलेटेड पर्सन्स. सो इन योर सेक्शन 15 they're explaining who are related persons. Very simple. Who are related persons? So officers, if such persons are officers or directors of one another's business. So let's say मेरे business में you are the director, so we are related. Such persons are legally recognized as partners in the business. So partners of the firm will be considered to be related. They are employer-employee, they will be there. Any person who directly owns, controls 25% of the outstanding shares of both of them. So if I own 25%, okay, of the stock, then I can be said that I am related. Okay. Next, any of them controls each other. Agar if one controls the other, both of them are directly or indirectly controlled by a third person. So we both are controlled by one person, that is, then we'll also be considered to be related. Together they are controlled by a third person. They directly or indirectly control a third person. So either we are controlled or we control. They are members of the same family. Okay. So in such cases, the persons will be treated as related persons. That is it.